There's a mindset that helps people to build better. Most times when people are stuck or struggling, it's usually a mindset thing. So you find somebody struggling, they're struggling because they lack knowledge. I don't believe anybody lacks opportunities. We lack opportunities when we move away from where opportunities are bound. If you want opportunity, you move into directions or spheres where opportunities are. I remember when COVID ended, a lot of people came back and they were shocked and they were saying that there's no money, and I just said, look, don't open your mouth and be saying what they're saying. Your prayer now should be, Father, position me where the money is flowing. Do you understand? Because if you look around, there's money in circulation, but why are people not accessing it? It's their mindset because they believe there's no money in circulation and they will not have the money. Even through the different regimes and the government, we've had different kind of tastes in our mouth based on their involvement. But if you can position yourself properly, I'm telling you that there's no government that will be in place or in position that you will not be able to maximize your best out of it to grow your career or your business. So I'm talking to you about, it's called the 1% mentality mindset, okay? And that 1% is there are people that have chosen to build, and there are also people that have chosen to consume. But after prayers this morning, I'm trusting God that you're going to be able to shift. There's a mindset shift that multiplies your impact. There's also a mindset shift that keeps you dependent. So whether you're a career person, whether you're a business person, you're just stuck. Now, for a career person, there's this mindset shift that I have to keep working to get my salary. That's the wrong kind of mindset shift. If you're a career person, you must understand that, look, I am myself incorporated. I'm running the business of my life and my skill. And as long as I'm in this company, I'm offering them value. And the more value I offer them, they pay me better. Now, so you offer so much value that you become so valuable to them, they can't allow you to go. And when they get scared that you're going to leave, they keep increasing your opportunities, increasing your salary, and they keep promoting you. But when you're just there, consumer, if I don't, I must go to work because I cannot do business, so I must earn my salary. And I'm telling you, you're going to remain in that position and they'll keep giving you peanuts. 1% mentality. What is that mentality? It is called the builder's mindset. It is the one that multiplies your value. It is the one that keeps you growing. So the other kind of mindset is what keeps professionals and even business people stuck. Now, the problem for some business people is that if you don't move so fast where you create teams, if you don't move so fast when you have employees, if you don't move so fast when you have serious, huge responsibility, you will not grow. And imagine yourself, you have like 20 employees to pay salaries. You have to work 100 employees to pay salaries. No, every system has been functional. So we're going to trust God that by the time we're done today, we would have shifted our mindsets from being consumers to building. It changes everything. Now, let me tell you something. If you take courses and you don't build, you're a consumer. If you watch, of course, most of us on YouTube, we keep watching. And if you keep watching and you're not building based on the things you're learning, you're a consumer. So, and that thing, I will call it a scarcity mindset because it will keep you consuming and consuming and consuming because you believe you never have enough. The little one that you got that you could have invested to produce something in your life or maybe build with it. You're not building with it because you feel that I need to get more information. For goodness sake, you've been getting information for the past 3 years, for the past 7 years. Until now, you've not built anything. It's scarcity mindset. You don't appreciate the things you have. You feel you never have enough. So instead of you building, instead of you investing, instead of you creating, you're strapped, chasing temporary satisfaction or maybe survival-based decisions. So you're keeping yourself busy. The mindset is, at least I'm still learning. At least I'm still learning. One day, the learner must be the teacher. One day, the learner must be the producer. So please, you know why I'm saying this? We're going to have a mid-year review. We've run this race. This is where we are. How far or how close are we to our goals? You have wealth goals. You have financial goals. You have business numbers. You have career goals. You understand? But can I tell you now, those your career, business, finance, wealth, prosperity goals will not be built by the salaries you're earning, except you're earning well. So if you're earning very well, that means you're offering value and being paid well. It cannot also be built by maybe the savings, your savings alone. No. As some of us feel we have to work harder. I'm going to show you. There's a video I have on. I'm going to send it to you. Hard work does not produce prosperity. No, it's leverage. It's leverage. What are you leveraging on? So those things you're looking for, you see those your goals, business numbers, career path, when you solve problems, when you create systems, when you serve more. And when I say more is that you're multiplying your impact, not necessarily by your energy, but by the systems you have created so that it can help you produce more results. You're now scaling the value that you have. So I want us to start thinking going forward, how can I build better systems? You understand? How can I solve more problems? Do you know if you can start by solving minor problems? There are people that run away from problems. They will never solve anyone. Once they see problems, they will run away. Trust God to solve problems. Pray, ask God for wisdom. And that was what Daniel did. We had a session some days ago. And when Nebuchadnezzar came and was like, I had a dream, somebody must tell me that interpretation. For goodness sake, how are they going to tell the interpretation? But what did Daniel do? He owned it and went to God. And God showed him the dream and also gave him the interpretation. There's no problem that is not solvable. And we're here praying because we are trusting God that some of those problems, when we take them into prayer, they will be solved. Answers will drop. So we're going to trust God for the capacity to solve problems and not to run away from them. Now, I keep reading the scripture, and I'm going to pray that we understand it better and that God gives us wisdom to begin to live it. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18 says, it is God that gives you power to get wealth. What is power? Power is energy. What is energy? It is what helps you to do work. They call them power corporation, National Electric Power Authority. That used to be NEPA. Now is Eco Electricity Distribution Company. It is power. Wherever you're calling from, there's a power company. And you see that power company? Yeah? What it conserves is energy. And that energy can be converted into maybe fan, electric cars. It could be anything, your washing machine, your television. That is power. So that's what he's trying to say here. I've given you the power that you can put to work and convert to wealth. Everybody on this call has the power to generate wealth, has the power to build wealth that they can use to fulfill purpose, build wealth that they can use to serve. Because if your dream is to accumulate wealth, you just end up like Solomon. Because wealth without purpose will lead to frustration. Because you keep searching and searching and searching. At the end of the day, you just say all is vanity. But if that wealth is purposeful, no, I'm rich because I want to help poor people. I want to build hospitals. My dear, at the end of the day, when you look at the people your hospital has helped, or maybe the schools you built, or whatever you have done, do you understand? You'll be so grateful to God that you live a purposeful life. And that is why we must seek to be prosperous. Why we must seek to be wealthy. People are suffering. Why can't God pass the money through our hands? We can take people off the streets, rehabilitate them. You need money. You need money to solve problems. Okay? But then I want to talk about something. Remember, we're talking about systems, the kind of mindset that produces the kind of results that trusting God for the end, towards the end of the year. I said builder's mindset. Number one thing you must change. If you think trading time for money works, you're joking. You will just burn out all your life. Why did they make retirement 65? So that by the time you're 65, you would have invested, built your wealth system, be prosperous, and be able to live on the things you invested. Everybody on this call, well, maybe the youngest person may be 30. So meaning you have maybe like 35 more years. Well, I'm not retiring at 65. Do you understand? Because my businesses will still be working. I'll just show up. I'm surprised, like I shared the other day. I think Dangote said he's 69. He's going to be 70. That man is not retiring. Okay, so I'm not planning to retire, but maybe going with the world system. Even Moses did not retire. At 80, he was still doing work. So God does not retire anybody. The world system retires people. So assuming you're going the way you're going, by 65, you retire though. So let's begin to build so that we're not investing our time, but we can now invest the things that matter. You can invest systems. You can invest assets. You can invest structures. I've been talking about systems for some time now. The system you're using to get you to your desired destination also matters. So remember, I'm talking about instead of burning our time, let us start installing some systems. For a career person, they're just simple systems you can set up. Why? Because your workplace has, in a way, systemized your life. Every week, you know that Monday to Friday, you're in the office. That has systemized your life. And you must be there by 7:30 so that you get paid. But beyond that, you need to build better. So the first system you can create as a career person is a planning system. So, and that your planning system is, what are my top 3 priorities for today, for this week, for this month? Because if you don't do that, by the time you must have worked for 7 years, you'll be looking at what you invested, and you have invested nothing. Do you understand? Because the way the career world has been systemized is that you keep giving, and at the end of the day, if you're not careful, you come out and you're like, wonder what you did with your life all these years. So you must have 3 priorities. Okay? You must review them at the end of the day. That's a planning system. The same thing also for a business person. What are my top 3 priorities for this week? Those are systems. What are my top 3 goals for this week? Those are my systems. For my business this week, all of us working, what is our top 3 priority? What will we say we achieved? Will we say, okay, this week, let's focus on marketing? This week, can we say, let's focus on client retention? What are we going to focus on? So that's the first thing. You must have a daily planning system. The Bible said, who is it that plans to build a house and does not sit down to count the cost? Okay? So this is a year. You're building on some goals. You must sit down and count the cost. What will it cost me? What do I need for the foundation? What do I need for the wood roof? What do I need for the window? Am I using wooden window? Am I using metal window? Is it Paco or is it glass? What kind of tiles am I using? Am I using rubber or PVC? What am I roofing with? Is it tarpaulin? Is it long span? What kind of design do I want? Who am I building with? Am I engaging engineers? Am I building alone? Can you see the risk of building alone? Nobody builds a house alone. So if you know the team you need, you begin to start getting them together and trust God for systems to sustain that team and get them paid. Okay. Now, the second system, the first one I talked about is your daily planning. Now, the second system is that you have to learn and you have to grow. But please, like I said before, scarcity mindset, you feel you never learned enough, because as you're learning, be building. As you're learning, see, anything you're not ready to build, though, please don't bother learning it. Of course, go to school, get your education, get your degrees. But when it's now time to build, for goodness sake, please learn based on your building activities, so that as you're learning it, you're putting them into action. Okay, then another one I'll talk about is maybe your financial discipline system. You must create structures about money. Automate your savings. When you see money in your account, you think you're rich, you keep spending it, and you will not invest in more. And I started doing that. Once money enters your account and you leave it there, you just be spending. Even if, let me say, how much enters your account? Okay, let me say 100K. My friend, remove 50,000, go and keep it somewhere. Be struggling with the 50 to build more. If it is 10 million, remove 8, go and dump it in one account. Sit on that 2 million. If it finishes, go outside and be looking, hey, where's the next job? So I started doing that. So you must automate savings. Don't say you don't have enough. If you cannot save when you have little, you can't also save when you have much. If you cannot invest when you have little, you can't invest when you have much. So, well, you can also budget, track your expenses. Where is this money going to? Then also have an investment plan. So what that thing does is that you keep putting that money away. One day, an opportunity will come to invest and you will not be struggling.